you guys. So for the past few days, I have been working on a vision board and some goal setting, and I had one more page to do, so I decided to record myself and show you guys what I've been up to. So the first thing I did was cut out all the pictures I had just to see what I was working with. And since it seemed like I had plenty of pictures, I went ahead and moved them all off the board so that I could start trimming them down and figuring out where I wanted to place them. To be honest, I really didn't know where I wanted to put anything. I like to sort of theme my areas, so although it looks a bit random, there is a method to my madness, but I pretty much just started with one picture and went from there. I started seeing what could I place around it. Did I want that to be the focal spot? I knew in that top left corner that I wanted to cover up the text that was there. So that's why I sort of covered everything initially in that side. But otherwise, it was just looking at the pieces I had and trying to figure out where they could all fit cohesively. The benefit of printing and cutting these out myself as opposed to either making them into stickers and having them already pre-cut was that I could move things around like this. If they were just stickers and I placed them down, as you can tell with all of the different adjusting and movement I do, they would have just been all over the place. I would have been peeling them up. I probably would have torn the page, something of that nature. So having them be pieces of paper that I could just move around until I found something that looked good was very helpful. But on the flip side, once it comes time to start gluing things down, it's really hard to not have them just move around and get out of position. If I even just breathe the wrong way, they could all go flying, which happened the night before as I was organizing the other page. Everything it went all over the place and I kind of started over, but it's no big deal. This is really just a creative outlet for me, and so it's time consuming for sure, but it's really fun. And so here I'm starting to glue things down. I have a really old glue stick that I need to replace, but it's enough to get these at least to stick down, which was my main concern for the night. So I was taking that glue stick and using it mostly just on the middle of the pictures because I still wanted to have room to tuck other pieces of other pictures, you know, beneath it or around it. So I glued down the center of the pictures so they wouldn't go flying like I just talked about, but with enough room that I could still tuck and maneuver some pictures around so that it had that collage look I was going for. At this point, you might be wondering what's with the other page. So I have a vision board page that's sort of like my future general life goals, and then the one that I recorded myself putting together right here is more of a future personality type goals, like the person or the type of attitude and spirit that I want to have. And it was actually a really fun activity to do both of these pages as well as my goal page, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so I'm kind of coming to the end of the, I guess you would say, gluing down all of the pictures, and then it becomes more of a, how do I want to fill in the blank spaces that are left? So once I was all out of pictures and I was all out of any sort of scraps that I could use, I took out some sticker books and I started flipping through to see, are there any stickers I can use on here? And so as you can kind of tell, I start placing some motivational sort of stickers, or in this case, some washi tape. And I start filling in either any blank spaces left or any spots that I feel maybe the pictures didn't line up very well and there was still some spots left. I went through and added some decor, I guess, to make it blend better or give it that more collage vibe rather than a clashing kind of look. But at the same time, I wasn't particularly concerned if things didn't line up or didn't, match the color exactly. I was just going for a cohesive look and something cool and fun, but in the grand scheme of things, if something didn't match or something wasn't perfectly straight or aligned correctly, I really didn't care. I was doing this more for a creative visual effect and not any sort of like planning. This is something that I will look at to feel a certain way, not to actually, I guess, get any plans done. This is motivation. And once I felt things were all set, I just added in my fancy little script at the top. And like I said, this page is more for a future me, future personality, future aesthetic kind of goals. And so I wrote my little script and I outlined it, which I love the way it looks, but it is so nerve-wracking as I write it because I'm just afraid I'm gonna ruin the whole thing. And luckily that hasn't happened, but here you can see me tracing it out. And that's about it. That's what my finished page ended up looking like. Okay, so vision boards, done. Goals and recap, also done. And I just wrote out some of the highlights essentially from 2018, so big accomplishments, and it was actually really helpful to do this before going into my 2019 goals. This page, actually this whole thing was inspired by Shea Budgets. So she did a really cool goal vision board setup and I decided, what the heck, I want to do it too. It looks awesome. So this is my 2019 goals page for basically the remainder of the year. So I broke it out into 6 different categories. All of this I just printed out and pasted or taped in and used stickers and things like that. I wanted it to be kind of fun and messy, kind of a collage, not super perfect. But yeah, so this is like reflecting on how things went and then looking forward to the future. And then the next set of pages you see are like my vision board. So while this over here is like the concrete goals and ideas that I have, this is the fun sort of visualizing it. For the future me, that's what you guys saw me decorating. The top bit was kind of like my personality and the attitude that I want to develop. And then towards the bottom, I have more of kind of like what I want to look like. And then in here, I had stuff like the fruits and vegetables and the weights and working hard. Again, kind of tying into the physical aspect of things. Basically, I want to be a stronger person in general and a healthier person in general. And so that's where all of this comes in. And then on this side, I wrote and I said like the vision, like I said, my overall sort of life goals. I would like to get engaged and married at some point. And then in the middle, I had more of, I want to buy a house and I want to own it, which is like a safe haven, a cozy spot for me. Lots of dogs. And then I have at the bottom here, the idea that I want to retire early. By extension, I will need to be a millionaire in order to retire early. And then this is just kind of like the typical relaxation, vacation kind of vibe. But yeah, so actually this was really fun. I'm a very analytical person and I have been really on it with my finances, as you can see from all of my other videos. But I haven't taken the time to actually sit down and kind of dream about what that means in the bigger picture. So taking time to really, I don't know, just sit and be hopeful and look forward to the future has gotten me more motivated to accomplish the smaller steps on the way. And the only other thing I need to do is figure out a way to preserve this better. I might do some type of like tape or something over it, because I can already tell these things are gonna wanna peel up at some point. But other than that, I really love this. Big shout out to Shay Budgets for doing hers and inspiring me, and maybe this will inspire other people. But that is it for now, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help, always happy to chat. Bye, you guys. Talk to you later.